Last hour we talked about it. First you mow, then you go ahead and put all your grass seed down, and then you aerate or verticut. So the green machine is the aerator. You see all the plugs coming up, and look how easy that is. And then you can see the verticut is the blue machine. They both do different things, but they also both make sure that that soil gets basically brought up. So when the seed, you put that seed down first, the seed is going into the soil. If you don't want to rent one of these because it can be pretty expensive, you can always do it handheld, right? But this is going to give you a little bit of a sweat. Ah! Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. Whew, I'm already sweating. Rodney St. John joins us right now with Ryan Lawn and Tree, and we want to talk about some do's and don'ts. And the first thing is watering, right? It's very important that you water a lot after you put that grass seed down.
Absolutely. On a bare soil situation, you're probably going to water 2 or 3 times a day, especially when it's in the 90s. If you're talking about a lawn area, you're probably going to at least water once a day, maybe twice a day. And again, water in the middle of the afternoon. Normally you water early in the morning when you have an established lawn, but we're trying to grow our seed. We want it to be damp. We want that dark brown color on that soil in the heat of the afternoon.
Because if you don't water enough, the seedlings just aren't going to grow, right? It's kind of a waste of money, a waste of time.
Absolutely, and that's usually where people fail too, is they stop watering. They see that green fuzz after about a week and they go, yes, I've won. But those grass seedlings have a very short root system, so if that top inch of soil gets dry after a few hours, then those seedlings can die as well. So keep watering even after that seed germinates.
Okay, number 2, you want to fertilize a starter fertilizer the same day you put the seed down, but you also want to fertilize at least one more time later in the fall.
Yeah, absolutely. So on a normal lawn program, we fertilize in September and then again in November. So putting the starter fertilizer down now at the time of seeding takes the place of that September application, and then go ahead and fertilize again in December or November.
Don't use cheap grass seed.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing you want to look at on the label is...
And we've got some grass seed, real quick. We've got grass seed over there. You can kind of take a look at that.
Looking for the weed seed on the label. Look for 0% weed seed and 0% other crop. I mean, a tenth of a percent of weed seed on the label, it's upside down, so it'd be kind of funny to look at, but a tenth of a percent of weed seed on that label is going to be several hundred seeds in that bag, and you spread those seeds out over your yard, you just ruined everything you've worked hard for.
What type of grass should you get? There's all kinds of different types.
I like a mixture of tall fescue and Kentucky bluegrass. The tall fescue has a deeper root system, and the Kentucky bluegrass spreads out, so having those two mixed together makes a real nice yard.
Okay, and finally, do mow often after seeding, because that reduces shade.
Right. Well, so you remember we've got to have the grass seedlings need sunlight to grow, and so if you let the grass grow real tall, these seedlings aren't going to get any sunlight and they're not going to germinate very well. So once the grass gets to your recommended height, about 3 inches, get out there and start mowing it.
And don't spray your weeds after you start seeding, right?
Right. So most of the products that are available for killing weeds have a recommendation that you need to mow the yard 2 times before you spray on that young grass, because those young grass seedlings can be susceptible to the herbicides that you use.
Okay, great advice there from Ronnie St. John. Now is the time to do it, and you said September through maybe mid-October, and after that, it's too late?
Yeah, after that, you can probably get some to grow, but then you run the risk of some winter damage over the winter.
All right, thank you very much. Look, it's expensive. We know this, right? Getting grass seed, getting fertilizer, renting one of those equipment, it's going to cost you $100, $200 to get it all done. But the payoff is come springtime, your lawn should be looking better than everyone else in the neighborhood.